Hello, everyone. How you doing?
Hello.
Yeah, it's me.
Okay, BC is in.
Yes.
Ashley, oh my God, I wish you were sitting here. David and I spent 90 minutes almost trying, oh, Andrew in the house, trying to get this thing to work. And oh my God, the curses, you could hear them to Canada.
Well, you know, I never thought part of my job would be tech support, but you know, here we are.
You know, you only have to be a little taller than the rest of the midgets in the room, Ashley. And, you know, it took David and I about 15 minutes to realize if you screen share, you got to push that button that says the computer audio is on in order for people to hear it. So that was painful.
That gets people.
Yeah, that was painful. Oh, Yumika, hey, how are you? Olivia, oh, Danae. They're coming on now. Emma, in the house. Okay.
You X out from the study.
Okay.
Oh no, I mean it might be not understood. What does that mean? I'm not.
We're going to give people another minute or two. People are still coming.
Simply Windows XE. So this is my last Windows experience.
Okay. There we are.
So I can X out of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't even X out.
Where'd you go, Bertha?
That's gonna be that.
We don't really have many people from into the UK and France aren't on yet.
Where are the people from France? Where are they?
Repeat.
Repeat. Where are they?
Yeah.
They're here.
Okay.
Okay.
It's hard for me to see everybody that's on now.
C'est qui là, ceux qui sont de France? Personne? Ok.
Si, il y a des Français.
Ah, ok. D'où?
J'ai grandi à Paris et je suis à Lyon.
Ah, ok. Lyon, ma ville préférée. J'ai étudié à Lyon, en fait. Je suis de Toulouse, moi.
Trop bien.
Ça.
Suresh, are you still on? Okay.
I'm
Okay. Because you're the only one actually on June 18th now so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll turn this off.
It's over here.
Oh, it is?
Well, let me start going through how this all works. This is a Zoom call. Some of us are not pros on Zoom. We have 30 people on now. There'll probably be more people coming on. When you're not talking, best thing to do is where you see people's microphone closed off. It makes sense to close off your microphone. With that little X, you see that at the bottom, it says mute on the screen. So when you're not talking, that way people can't hear every time you, talk to a buddy in the same room or whatever. This is, we're going to try to do a couple of things on this, and this is Zoom amateur hour. As I was saying a minute ago, David Graber in the Local 100 office spent 60, 70 minutes with me trying to get me up to speed. And the problem is this is not going to be an Ashley production. This is a Wade production, which means when we go to show a video, it's going to go slowly over to the website, slowly hit, and we'll hope for the best. I don't know if everybody got the agenda. Basically, as everyone knows, tomorrow is the 50th anniversary of ACORN. This is time so that India is the only one now in the 50th anniversary because Suresh woke up in time. I told him to get a nap. Suresh, say hello to everybody from Bengaluru. Okay, your microphone's off. Okay.
Hello. Hello. I'm this is Suresh from India, Bangalore. So we are the first to enter into 18th in our group. I hope so. So
excellent. Oh, and Dharminder's now on from Delhi as well. It's the 50th anniversary in India, Dharminder and Suresh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish everybody happy anniversary, happy 50th anniversary to all members of ACORN, all staff of ACORN. I wish all the best for next 50 years.
I think this may be, is this Vinod? He's still muted. I think maybe he's on Sanja's machine, but we'll get to that in a second. Here's the agenda. We're going to show, because it's 50 years of history, we're going to show a brief clip of a couple of things that for many of you who are new and for some of you who are older, document some of the history. Then we're going to open the mic for people to say whatever they'd like to say for a minute. And then we're going to see some things like the new website and the story map and toast the future. Sound good? We'll get everybody, you know, to speak soon, but let's try to get this to happen. Okay, so I'm going to try to show the clip from the organizer. So hang with me. Share. Whoop. Huh.
To think about was this notion of building a larger tent that more low and moderate income working families could get into.
The political tide had turned, and the organizers were searching for a kind of organizing that would go beyond what welfare rights had done to communities of working poor and poor people.
George Wiley, who is director of the National Welfare Rights Organization, he had to have somebody to go to the South. So I said, well, you know, if you need something in the South and I can figure out this larger framework for low and moderate income families, then I'll take a look. Next thing you know, there I was driving into Arkansas.
Pause in life's pleasures and count its many tears while we observe sorrow with the poor. There's a song that will linger forever in our ears. Oh, hard times come again no more.
Well, at first you start with you and the rat in your pocket. So I just drove in June 18th of 1970, started talking to people about this notion of an organization we wanted to build.
I used to live on Schiller 35 years ago. Some things changed.
This guy named Wade Rafke came to town and he started knocking on doors. And the very first door he knocked on was a lady named Gloria Wilson. And right then and there, she hit the streets with him.
This house right here, this is where Gloria used to live.
I don't know, it was like something just grabbed you and it pulled you away. Growing up all my life, somebody else was controlling everything, and I wanted to see a change.
See, I used to live on 22nd Street. Gloria was right there. I could walk on my porch and look right in her front door. And so we got to talking about it, and oh yeah, we are in. Yes, sir.
The first organizer I managed to hire was a man named Gary Delgado. He'd been up in New York.
It was an experiment in uniting the very poor, people on welfare, with the not so poor. That was one level of the experiment. It was also a racial experiment. Could you build a multiracial organization? It was 1970 in the South. I was interested in those kinds of questions.
I started trying to scribble out potential names, AC community, a community organization. It doesn't take long to get to ACORN, and ACORN is easy to draw.
They would have meetings at my grandmother's house, you know. She would make us go into the back room, and I said, oh, she having this nut meeting. That's what I call the ACORN people. They are they're nuts, you know. They're not going to get it. These old ladies, what they going to do?
The first organizing that we did in Little Rock was around furniture. There was a law in the books through which people were entitled to furniture, and so we organized both black and white folks to go down and make demands. We ended up at a meeting with Winthrop Rockefeller, who was the governor of the state.
First time in my life I had been in the governor's mansion. Rockefeller made one statement. What is it like, you know, to be poor? What is it? Because he's been rich all his life. And I had cut my hair and I couldn't do it right, and I was wearing a wig at the time. And I said, I'll tell you what it's like. It made me bald, and I pulled my wig off, and he just went all everywhere. The way he loves that story, so he tells it all the time.
I've lost all my hair and pulled her wig off. And Winthrop Rockefeller was not the brightest bulb in the, in the universe. That helped make the point.
In the South, there were more nuances in terms of dealing with the local politicians. There were more nuances in terms of black and white relationships.
Back in 1970, that was totally unheard of. A group of black and white, low and moderate income people who were proud. And we were poor, but we were proud.
Okay, so this is the Centennial neighborhood, and this was part of the Save the City campaign. We used to run up and down these hills like squirrels door knocking, just up and down, up and down, up and down. Clubs, you know, there's no house I hadn't door knocked on this street. I swear to God.
I remember driving on a city street one day, and there was this billboard, and it said, in the largest letters, it just covered the entire billboard, Save the City. This had to be about 1972, because I came home from Vietnam in April of '72. I thought, that is so interesting. Save the city. Very soon, people started showing up at the city council meetings with the ACORN buttons, calling our attention to deficiencies in services in neighborhoods.
In Arkansas, over 70% of the people earn less than $7,000 annually. The Arkansas Community Organization for Reform Now, ACORN, is an example of a mass membership organization which is transforming citizen action.
These petitions are out all over town, not only in this group, but in ACORN groups all over the world.
Want to be citizen? If you say nothing, you get nothing. So that's why we had to get up and go and push. School lunch program, we got it going. And all of these kind of things is what we look for, the things that was missing.
And the neighborhood that I lived in, which was a middle-class neighborhood in the middle of the city that was integrated very peacefully, there was an attempt on the part of realtors to engage in blockbusting. We knew that it was something that was very destructive of race relations. So ACORN came in and they did a number of really interesting things hand in hand with all the residents.
Okay, we lived through the first video. There's some early days of ACORN, 70 to 72, the Save the City campaign. We now have some more people that have joined us, but we're just plowing on. The other campaign later on, a decade later, that has been critical in terms of people understanding ACORN's growth was our squatting campaign. And that seems relevant now that we're talking about freezing rent and stopping evictions everywhere. So let's see if I can also get that video for you. Hold on, and here we go again. Oh, not it. Okay.
Housing is all right. We're gonna fight. Decent housing is all right.
Everybody knows why we're squatting. They won't get the houses to them, so we're gonna take them anyway, because we know they belong to us. We're fired up and fed up.
Housing is all right. We're gonna fight.
This is Philadelphia.
It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under.
When Gloria decided to become a squatter, she started working with Grover Wright and the grassroots group he chairs, ACORN.
We ain't taking no more. We're fired up. We ain't taking no more. We're fired up. We ain't taking no more.
Squatting had spread to Pittsburgh, Detroit, Dallas, and Boston. In St. Louis, squatters took HUD-owned houses and were arrested.
Despite regulations requiring it, Reagan's appointees at HUD refused to protect those who've lost their houses from greedy mortgage companies eager to foreclose. When lobbying, petitioning, and every other protest failed, ACORN members began to squat.
Now we got too much food. They want to starve us. They want to keep us naked. They want to keep us outdoors. But they're not going to do it.
And Mommy put some wingers in and put some sheetrock up there. And that's all. Now we got a house.
Okay, there we go. Got another one. Successfully done. Tony, you just missed yourself being on the first clip. So now on the agenda, it says it's a chance for any of you who want to offer your toast here, and we'll have another chance at the end. But if anybody would like to share memories of the old days, or when the old days for you, or when you came into ACORN and what you're doing now, or just, hey, Vinod, I knew that was you. We looked for you earlier. Suresh and Dharmendra, welcome the new anniversary, since y'all are already in the middle of it. But anybody who'd like to speak now and volunteer their views about their ACORN experience over these 50 years. Orfra, are you about to? Okay, if you want to say something, undo the mic. What a bashful crowd of ACORN organizers. There you go. Tony, you want to say something? Oh, okay, here's Judy.
I'll say something. I mean, when I started working with ACORN in Seattle, Washington, you know, I walked into this little office in Burien and, you know, went through this 3-day training called the Training Academy. And, you know, they're like, okay, we're going to go door knocking. And, you know, off we went. And, you know, in training, we went and door knocking and talking to people in White Center, just outside of Seattle. It was a fascinating little community. And, you know, we talked to a bunch of people and it kind of blew my mind. I was like, oh, wow, like these people are actually doing something. Like, this is something.
What a concept. What a concept. Anybody else?
Oh, yeah.
Like
Well, cheers. Here's my coffee cheers to
Oh, okay. Coffee cheers here. We won't get drunk on this. Coffee all the way. Who else would like to share?
Well, I'm actually driving from Shreveport to Dallas. I mean, to Little Rock. So I'm sorry I was late on the call. I became part of the ACORN late, you know, but I feel like I've always been a part of it I grew up with my grandmother, and she was a part of it. And it's been one of the most fulfilling times of my life. I wish I'd have did this, 20 years ago. But just the fact of helping people to overcome the disparities that they face, and just helping workers get the recognition and get the wages they deserve is very rewarding. So my toast is that ACORN keeps going on for another 50 years. And only thing I can raise up is my water, to the as a toast. So let's keep moving forward.
There you go. There's another one. We sort of counted on our British friends to have a pint with us, and the French to have a glass of wine, but Emma's having to represent the whole European continent other than Prague. So we'll just, who knows what happened there. Anybody else want to add something? Oh, Raf is having a big long toast. There you go. John, you got anything?
Well, when I started working with Judy, and then I worked for a while, I went to some trainings in the States. You'd go down to, they'd always do the meetings down in Albuquerque. You'd go to Albuquerque, but then you wouldn't go downtown Albuquerque, be on the outskirts of Albuquerque at the, these motels. But then I was thinking, like, when I moved to Ottawa to start Ottawa ACORN, and I would have been 26, and there is no other organization in the world that would have sent me anywhere to go set up shop, but ACORN let me do that. It was quite the opportunity. And I made something out of it. We got that wonderful office that Ashley's predecessor hated so much, the rat office on Montreal Road. You know what I mean? I was able to do something with my life. And it was, like, Tony mentioned life-changing, but even more substantial than that for me.
Excellent. Yeah, well, it's been wonderful to have you, John. I do want to introduce two people who are new to this meeting. One is Ricky at the bottom of my screen, and I had Kenneth, but I don't see him right now. We may have lost connection. They're going to be some of the newest ones of us. They're joining with us to apply for a radio station in Kampala, Uganda. We're trying to get an internet station first, and then hopefully going terrestrial. Ricky, you want to say hello to your new partners here in this affair?
Yes. Hello, everybody. My name is Ojok Moses Ricky in Uganda. I'm based in Arua towards the border of Uganda and South Sudan. As Wade said, we are working on a radio project here in Uganda, and it will be based in Kampala. We have registered the name, and I'm glad to say that we have named it after ACORN. So it's also the gift we are giving to ACORN at 50 today. The name will be Radio ACORN in Uganda. So my colleague is online, but I don't know if he's getting me. He's called Kenneth. Kenneth, we are working together here. I'm glad to be here, and I'm learning a lot. Thank you.
We're certainly learning a lot about the radio bureaucracy in Uganda. We've been trying to get this application through for almost a year. ACORN Radio is what it's going to be called in Uganda. Not that we're technologically inept, but poor John Kane and the radio people in KBF were going to be here to greet you, and they called to say, well, Tony isn't here. We can't get in his office. None of the computers are new enough that they have a camera. So they weren't able to get on. So they send their best wishes.
It's okay. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll connect you sometime soon. Anybody else have something they might want to add?
Hello, this is Kenneth.
Ah, there's Kenneth.
Yes. Good evening, it's evening here in Kampala.
You can hear the cars behind you, Kenneth. Good to have you there from Kampala. And as Ricky was saying, he's in the far northwestern part of the country near the boundaries of Uganda and Sudan. So that'll be something different here. Anyone else have, oh, there's Kenneth at the bottom of my screen on the other side. Kenneth Camargo Sr. Anyone else have something to add? Well, we'll go on and show you some other things that are happening now. So hang on, we're gonna show you the story map video being done by some volunteers. It's all going to, we'd hoped it would all be ready tomorrow. We're very,
Hello.
very close. Hello?
No.
Who's
Budu
talking?
překládat.
Michelle?
Já chci pozdravit celý ACORN International.
I want to say hi to the whole ACORN International organization.
Popřát všem bratrům a sestrám nejlepší k 50. výročí.
And just to say all the best for the anniversary.
V České republice máte další bratry a sestry.
There are more brothers and sisters in the Czech Republic.
Naše organizace je stále na začátku.
Our organization is still at the beginning.
Začali jsme jako sociální družstvo.
We have started as a social cooperative company.
A jsme trošku politicky motivované sociální družstvo.
And we have a political agenda as well, but we are a company of working people.
Takže to je naše aktuální agenda České republice. Spojili jsme se s organizací, se kterou se vzájemně podporujeme. Je tam více organizací a skupin.
We have incorporated several organizations and we want us to be an umbrella organization for others.
It's great to have you with us this call. Mikkel and the Prague people tried to get on the board call, but they got on, the time was confused. So they're doing a good job on a co-op there. It's good to have them. I'm going to try to move us now to see what the new story map will have for the new website for us to be able to work with. Hold on.
All across the world, low and moderate income families are faced with challenges to their health and well-being. From high rent and exploitation by landlords to inadequate access to food and water, there are multiple issues plaguing society today. With chapters in more than 15 countries, ACORN International is part of a global fight for human rights and people power. Here at ACORN, we train members with comprehensive and strategic tools so that they can organize against the institutions that withhold their rights and resources. ACORN is made up of regular people like you who see issues in their community and want to organize from the ground up to make change. If you want to be part of the fight for better communities, join us now.
Well, how'd you like that?
That was good.
That was great.
That's our partners at the Everett Institute at the University of California at Santa Cruz have been working on that and some other things that you'll see soon as the introduction, one part of the introduction on our new website. So many of you saw your own pictures in that one, didn't you? Ashley smiling, you were in the final frame for sure. We had some pictures from India.
All those signs I made at the ACORN convention were there, in Hamilton, the Canadian one. And that guy looked a lot like you, Wade, the cartoon character there.
You know, they took a lot of pride in that, John. They were very curious. And I asked a question when I first saw it, because at first I didn't notice it, John. And they said, Wade, it looks just like you. And, you know, but I'll have to be honest. I had to tell them the first time they showed it to me, it was totally gray hair. And I said, you know, I've got to tell you, I don't self-identify as gray. You know, it used to be red, kind of strawberry blonde. And you know what they said? We can fix that. So this is the last final version. I gave them the old Danae story about, Dad, you better stop telling people to meet you at the airport, somebody 6 feet tall with red hair, because you don't have red hair anymore. They love the Danae story. Okay, so some of you have seen the new website as it's unrolling. It's so close. Maggie, are you still with me here today? She was on earlier. I don't know if she's on now, but Maggie has been working double time to get it done. I'm going to show you what it looks like right this second, if I can find it quickly. Hold on. Oh, that's not it. Lost it. Just hang on. Don't abandon all hope yet. Trying to find it. Ah, don't give up. Ashley, where are you when I need you?
Sorry, stuck in Ottawa.
I know, it's killing me. Well, I know how to get it another way. Okay, here we go. It's a miracle. So many of you have seen part of this already. You know, on the top screen, it goes back and forth. Various pictures of actions. There's Ottawa. There's something else with Canada. That may be India there. That's your people, isn't it, Dharminda? Okay, I think that's UK. And that's back to Ottawa. Okay, so you go down, and then the key thing is updates from the field. That's news as we get it. That will be, and then one of the nicest features, and one of the things that's not finished, is a map. So as you look at this, every country is revealed. There's the Czech Republic, France. When you go on France, is the one example. Let's see if I can pull it up. You see our partners in the Alliance. Obviously, this is in French. Restore heat. Okay. Various videos, the whole 9 yards. Okay. Aubervilliers, here's the membership. Grenoble, Lyon. Lyon's brand new, but obviously coming on fast. But every country has a bio along, has a thumbnail along these lines. Here's Cameroon. ACORN Africa website's coming soon, but here's Cameroon. In each case, you'll see an update. You'll see the key leader, the email address, campaigns, where the chapters are, photo galleries. This will be in every one. Now, the more we have from you, the more we're able to display on the website. As you saw, one of the key things we're doing is asking people to support us. We're going to be doing another call with friends of the organization tomorrow night in Canada and the US, mainly in the US. There's a way that people can make, we're going to ask everyone to give $50 for 50 years and a happy birthday, ACORN. We still have the COVID response button that's on there. That's been very helpful in Honduras and in India in terms of getting support for the organization. Right now, what's happening that you can't see is that all of the old website is being migrated to the new website. So all the stuff that you would see if you went on ACORN International as opposed to new ACORN International that you just looked at would be the old stuff. So that's those are all the bells and whistles we have for the call. Is there anyone else who has something they'd like to share with everyone who's on the call as we toast the 50th anniversary of ACORN?
Hey, Wade, I would like to make a toast.
Okay.
I think it's amazing that we made it to 50 years, but when I look at all of you and know the work that you're doing, I know exactly how we're going to make it another 50 years. I'm very proud of everybody who's been involved along the way. And it's been, you know, it just brings tears to my eyes to see pictures of people I worked with 50 years ago in these film clips who just brought the world to me and to this work. We have just a treasure, and I know you know that because you do the work. And being involved with people who have so many problems and who have so much is one of the most remarkable, extraordinary experiences anyone can have. It's just been an honor. And now I just, the door knocking. We all we're doing it still, and it's still the model that works. It's still the best thing to do is the hardest thing. Just like this work has all made us better people. Thank you all so much. 50 more.
Okay. Beth Butler on the David Graeber thing. Oh, look at that. Megan, how do you do that? We all have something to, oh, look at that. Peggy knows. BC knows. This must be a Canadian thing. Oh, no. Obviously, some of us, reactions, I bet. Okay, I can do that too. Okay, yay. Okay. Okay. Emma, you're representing all of Europe here other than Prague. Anything you can share?
There's Sinead as well from Scotland. But all of Europe, what can we say? We're young, we're excited, we want it. And it's amazing being able to be inspired by experiences and fights and grit from the rest of the world of it's not an easy job and it's never going to be easy, but boy, do we want it. And it's wonderful seeing, people have been wanting it for the last 50 years and changing the world for it.
Okay, so I was just reading without looking. I knew that didn't, I was going to say, that doesn't look like Emma. So say your name again since I've already messed this up.
Oh, so no, I'm Emma, but
okay.
Sinead is also from Edinburgh.
Okay. So
right?
confusing. Okay. I'm not helping here. It's all good. Anyone else have something to add?
Yeah, I'd like to say something.
Okay.
I'm relatively new to the organization, but I'm happy I decided to do a complete 180 in terms of my career and what I was doing. I come from a very politically involved family that we've always believed in doing the right thing. As you know, and as my Latin American colleagues know, being in politics or social justice in Mexico or in Latin America is a very serious gamble. So I am grateful that you guys have given me a safe space where I can fight for the things I believe in. And I'm very happy to be a part of ACORN, and I hope, this will last for many, many, many more decades.
Great, great. Gus, you speak Spanish? Yes.
I do, yeah. Felicidades a todos mis amigos hispanoparlantes y mis colegas. Félicitations aussi à tous mes collègues francophones.
Could you, Orpha, would you like to say something? Gus might be able to translate for you. Oh, we can't hear you, unfortunately. Oh, Orpha's from Lima, and Lima was a first affiliate of ACORN International more than 15 years ago, but unfortunately, we're not really able to hear what she's saying. I was going to get Gus to, Luis, can we hear what you're saying? Maybe we could hear you, and then Gus could translate.
Or they could type it in the chat.
Or you could type it in the chat.
Bueno, no sé si lo estás anunciando, Wade.
Wade, I don't know if you're announcing this.
We can hear you now.
Ahorita ya te podemos escuchar bien.
Bueno, primero le cedo el uso de la palabra Orfa, en todo caso.
First of all, I would like to yield the word to Orpha, is her name?
Orpha is her name, but we're having trouble hearing Orpha on the microphone. So,
Estamos teniendo un poquito de problemas técnicos con el micrófono de ella.
But at least we gave it an effort. I think we have the UK in the house. Nick, are you with us now?
Yeah,
Bueno,
sorry, time zone confusion.
No problem. This happens. Last time that was Prague. They were early by about 40 minutes this time. They weren't taking a chance, but we're glad to have you. And we're at the end of this, so you could perhaps give us some words about where we're going in the future and how well we're doing in England and Wales.
Yeah, well, we've been doing great work in England and Wales, growing a lot more than probably expected at the current time during coronavirus. But I don't want to go into too much detail about that now, but just wanted to say that it's really inspiring looking back at the last 50 years of everything that's been achieved, seeing everybody here on this call. I think the next 50 years, it's not going to take 50 years. We're going to be a really transformational force in the world. So the toast that I would like to put forward, if everyone's got their mugs, which I don't, but is for the one big global union, death or glory.
Oh, death or glory, right on. Now, Kat, I heard you can actually repeat whole sections of books. I thought maybe we would ask for, we got to carry the flame. That's Kat Wright, who's one of our star organizers in helping. We're up to how many chapters now? Is it 16 or more?
20.
Yeah, 20. Oh my goodness. It's getting crazy in England. There are towns I've never heard of that are organizing ACORN branches. And it's so confusing to the Everett people because they spent hours and hours doing the English map on the website. And I didn't show it because you weren't on. And they said, so then they wanted to call every group a branch after they finished. No, that's just like a UK thing. That's not like an everybody thing. Well, does anybody else have something to add? If not,
Wait. Are we unmuted?
Yeah, you good.
Reverend Bell is here, a leader from Louisiana, a community voice ACORN, and he would like to say something.
Okay.
Wade, I believe in giving you roses while you're here. And in behalf of the American Legion, which I stand as the commander for the Crescent City, I present this plaque to the ACORN organizer from the American Legion 2020 to Wade for outstanding leadership 50 years anniversary.
Yay!
Whoa.
Yay! Okay, get that coffee cup up again. Oh, look at that. We're going fancy. I don't know, you think
She said, hold up the other plaque.
Oh, okay, I will. This is what we did before we started. They came in as a surprise 5 minutes early. So there were about 6 or 8 people here early. So backwards it says Wade Rathke, founder, 50 years of organizing. I could show it right here, but it's also on a plaque. Look, this has been an amazing experience. It's been life for me, and for so many of you. It's wonderful. One of what we always talk about is that win or lose in the struggle we're involved in, it's the community we build with ourselves as an organizing community, as well as with our leaders and members, that gives us the steel to fight and work every day as hard as we do. Hold on. You know, Tony told us he was driving. We got to hear every tire on the road. That's for a minute there. Actually, I'm getting better at this. I may be able to moderate one of your things soon.
You're doing real well.
As long as there's no translation. I'll never be able to manage translation. But ACORN has many victories and many accomplishments. And as Nick just said, the best is yet to come. What's really wonderful for me, having worked as an organizer this long and having been with ACORN 50 years, is knowing that our future is as strong and bright in many of your hands and arms as it is. So I'll toast to you, toast to ACORN. Tomorrow we'll try to raise some money with our leaders and friends, and hopefully part of what we're trying to do is raise money to open in Atlanta in the US again. There's interest in the first plane trip I'm taking over the last 4 months is to Atlanta next Saturday a week, where people want to try to start organizing ACORN again in these very fraught times that speak to the need for an organization like ACORN in the United States. But we're also trying to see if we can support not only new radio stations in Uganda, but new organizations in the Congo and Spain and everywhere that there's an interest in ACORN organizing. So thanks for all of your participation. We'll see what happens in the future.
Wait, just 1 second.
Yes, Gus.
I believe Luis typed here that, you know, they're having a few language barrier issues, but that if you can give them a couple minutes for Peru, they would appreciate that.
I would always give a couple minutes for Peru. Gus, thank you for, how do you do that hand thing?
You go on more and
okay, you've told me. I'll check it out. Are we ready in Peru?
¿Estamos listos ya en Perú?
Bueno, al parecer Orfa tiene algunas dificultades con el equipo.
Apparently, Orfa is having some technical difficulties with the equipment.
Sin embargo, queríamos hacer nuestro saludo a nombre de Perú por este 50 aniversario.
However, we wanted to send congratulations on behalf of Peru in this 50th anniversary.
Hace más de 15 años aquí en el Perú está ACORN y diversas luchas del pueblo peruano.
ACORN has been here for more than 50 years, fighting for various struggles of the Peruvian people.
En esta lucha contra la pandemia mundial que tenemos, estamos luchando por el bono universal y una canasta básica de servicios públicos.
In this fight against the pandemic, we are currently fighting for a universal bonus for people and a basic pantry that would be universal.
Estas luchas por encima de las barreras de las fronteras.
These struggles over any borders
nos hermana y nos permite seguir hoy día, también saludarlos a cada uno de ustedes y decirles que aquí en Perú también estamos resistiendo.
It fraternizes, it brings us together, and it also gives us an opportunity to remind all of you that here in Peru, we are fighting the same struggles.
Conocí a Wei el año 2002 en el Foro Mundial del Agua en Kioto, Japón.
I met Wade in 2002 at the World Water Forum in Kyoto, Japan.
Y desde esa vez estamos unidos. Seguiremos aquí con las compañeras Orfa, con la compañera Angélica y todos los compañeros que están luchando aquí en Perú.
And since then, we've all been united. We are going to continue to be together with Orfa. ¿Quién era la otra compañera?
Angélica.
Angélica.
Y bueno, seguimos acá feliz, 50 aniversario, y vamos por 50 más.
And we're celebrating joyously over here, and here's to 50 more years.
Excellent. Well,
muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much.
Luis is exactly right. He was the head of the Water Workers Union in Peru, and we fought against privatization in water, and then from that started building organizations in San Juan Lurigancho and elsewhere in Lima. This is our oldest affiliate before Canada even, so that's great to have you. Vinod, would you like to add a word before we move on?
Yeah, I'd like to say that this is wishing ACORN a brilliant 50 years. And it's been 15 years for me in ACORN. I met Wade in 2005 in Bombay. We had the anti-Walmart campaign, and it's been 15 years in ACORN. This is the fact that I have seen all of y'all and heard y'all is very inspiring. And today, in these COVID days in the lockdown, I'd like to congratulate ACORN and say we've distributed the 50,000 meals in Dharavi, in Mumbai. So this is all possible because of our network of supporters and people supporting us from all over the world. And today, ACORN is known all over India and internationally for the work which Wade has done. So Wade and all the people from ACORN, great, another 50 years, and we will keep this battle going, organize and struggle, okay?
Absolutely. You know, Zoom needs to get a fist. We need a fist on this thing. So I don't know, that maybe is more, we'll have to find it. Well, with that, we'll let that be say no more. We'll get ready for tomorrow. Let's hope we do well. I know we love and support every day that all of you do the work for us. It's good to see some of our leaders here. Sorry, we're not going to end this meeting with prayer, Reverend, my friend from New Orleans, but that's okay too. So this is the end. Until the next time, maybe we'll do this again with real liquor. All right, until then.